Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It is Thursday night. It is the USRA, and right here at Miami Homestead, it is the Travis Manson Foundation 250 here tonight. 20 drivers have rolled in here to the second to final race of the season, and the championship hunt is getting a little bit, I guess, spread out, you can say. But tonight, I'm up here in the booth. I got the man behind the wheel, the Taylor Butcher Benjamin, along with me. Taylor, this is Miami, and it is a wide 1.4-mile track here.
This is one awesome racetrack. Definitely a lot of multiple groove racing you'll see tonight. Tires are going to get chewed up, and like you said, that point lead that Jeff Pogo has expanded ever since that whole deal at Talladega where Luke Lafaro got caught up in that wreck. But and what a season Jeff has had. Only 2 finishes outside the top 10. He only has 1 win, but just amazing consistency over the season. And he's going to look for another one tonight to not quite lock up the title, but make it almost impossible for Luke Lafaro to beat him next week at Charlotte.
And as you talk about that points championship hunt, let's take a quick gander at the USRA Cup Series point standings. Jeff Pogo does have that lead over Luke Lafaro. It is still only a 2-horse race coming into tonight. I think Eric Holly, who sits there in third, or sitting at 98 points, is just a little too far out here to battle for that championship hunt come next week. So the battle will be between Jeff Pogo and Luke Lafaro. Jamie Leach is sitting fourth there. He has a little bit of a cushion over Aaron Davis. And I just got past a memo before we came live here that Davidson, is not going to be able to make the final 2 races, unfortunately. So that probably is going to secure that battle between the 3rd and 4th spot between Holly and Leach. 6th is Stephen Holmes. 6th is Holmes. 7th is Dill. Jared Hagedorn also experiencing wheel issues. I believe his Fanatec whole rim system has fallen apart, so he will not make the final 2 races either of the season. So a couple of these drivers could move up, but it's going to be slim chances. Ira Kohlhaas is 9th. Donald Bennett rounds out the top 10 there in points. The rest of those points there, 11th through 20th on the right-hand side of the screen. But Taylor, that points battle there for 1st and 2nd is going to heat up even more here at Homestead because Luke Lafaro coming into the night has a really good chance to win here.
And he's really solid on mile-and-a-half racetracks. He's definitely shown that in the past. Although with that being said, he's going to have to rely on a solid run for himself and some bad luck for Jeff Pogo if he's going to make next week interesting.
Well,
as we're ticking down practice, Daniel Dill, the fastest in qualifying, with 31.559, the fastest time, and now we're about to set the field in this 5-minute qualifying session.
Exactly what I was about to say with Dan Dill at the top of the boards here. We're going to step away real quick, though, and we'll be right back here with qualifying from the Miami Homestead.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof
Well, welcome back, race fans, here to the Homestead Miami Speedway. Qualifying for the USRA is officially underway. As you see, the number 2 Great Lakes Brewing Chevrolet of Jamie Leach. He is out there. He is third on the board on his first lap, and he is working his way through turns 3 and 4 right now. We'll see if he can make his position any better. It looks like a little bit faster, but he's actually going to lose a position. Eric Hawley actually faster on his second lap with a 31.661 for the man out of Ohio. So Holly will be third with Leach in fourth. Michael Sturgill, after having taken a break a little bit, I guess you can say, Sturgill is back here. He has the number 90 on the pole right now. 11 drivers, now 13 drivers have put in qualifying times here for the Miami Homestead Speedway.
Chase Berry moves to second on the board, right above Justin Wilson. And you recall last night, absolutely remarkable finish between those two drivers. Only 0.04 of a second separated Chase Berry and Justin Wilson at the checkered flag. So if last night was a prelude to how this one's going to end up, then that's something to get excited for.
Yeah, those two putting on one heck of a show on Tuesday night here for the USRA. How about a man who had a pretty good run last week, which on Thursday night here with the USRA Cup Series, number 7 of Michael Bromley. He is out there 10th on the board. It looks like he has finished up his qualifying time. A new sponsor on the side of that car, Draft Top. One of those new creative top removers for your beer if you enjoy drinking some alcoholic beverages, which, you know, I don't know about you, Taylor, but I certainly love to dabble in some of those things. But a brand new sponsor on the side of that number 7 car this week. We'll have to pay attention and see how that green on that all-black car pays out for him. Still looks, though, like Michael Sturgill is holding down the top spot. Jason Eisenhower in the Sim Speed Shop number 36 here just put in the 15th quickest time out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. And it looks like we're waiting on 2 drivers yet to possibly put in a qualifying time. I believe I just saw, though, Jeffrey Price, though, have a little bit of an issue possibly. I think he might have just dropped.
Steve Schmidt also has dropped, and he's qualified 17th so far, but right now he's not in the session. And Jason Ayerson looks like he is just start in the back.
Tonight's sponsor of this race is the Travis Manson Foundation 250 tonight, presented by that man on screen right there, the 68 Under Armour driver out of Pennsylvania. The Travis Manson Foundation, one of those foundations in Pennsylvania that helps our vets who return back to the United States after their tour of duty in Afghanistan or Iraq. So we'd like to thank Miroslav Mach for putting up the name here with the Travis Manson Foundation. Right, but it looks like 18 drivers are going to take qualifying times here from the Miami Homestead Speedway, and that is going to do it here for the qualifying session. Michael Sturgill, Dan Dill will lead us to the green flag here tonight. It'll be 160 laps of side-by-side racing action. Could possibly see that 3-4 wide. You never know with these guys. You might even see 5 wide down the backstretch.
We're going to see a lot of grooves in this race. Michael Sturgill, like you said, on the pole, coming off a great second place finish last week at Pocono, and once again, Justin Wilson beat him by 18,000ths of a second last week. So coming off 2 photo finishes in this series.
All right, well, while these guys start to take to the grid here, let's see if we can walk you through your starting lineup here tonight from the Homestead Miami Speedway. Row number 1 going to look like this. It's going to be the number 90 here of Michael Sturgill, and right alongside him, the 81 of Dan Dill, having one of the best qualifying efforts of the season here. Second row, it'll be the Pure Ink driver Chase Berry, who won on Tuesday night with the USRA Xfinity Series. And right alongside him is going to be the 58 of Justin Wilson. Starting in row number 3, it's the man who's second in the point standings, the California kid, if you will, of Luke Lafaro, and the Ohio driver of Eric Hawley. Row number 4 here, it'll be another one of those Ohio drivers. This time driving a Chevrolet, it'll be the Great Lakes Brewing number 2, Jamie Leach. The 38 hailing out of Las Vegas, Nevada will be Cody Levitt. Row number 5 is going to look like this. It'll be the number 68 Under Armour machine of Miroslav Mach. Then it'll be the 64 Green machine of John Mullins. The sixth row here tonight will be held by two of the Ford drivers. That'll be the 24 of Jeff Pogo and the number 9 of Stephen Holmes. Row number 7, it'll be the draft top number 7 of Michael Bromley and the 49 of Robert Dudley. Row 8 will be Big Country Cole Haas rolling off alongside the Sims Speed Shop driver of Jason Eisenhower. Row number 9, it'll be two Pennsylvania boys hailing out of the Topton area. It'll be the Holy Schmidt number 11 of Steve Schmidt, and then it'll be the 31 of Donald Bennett. Rolling off row 10, you guys who didn't get qualifying time, it'll be the 14 of Jeff Price and the 44 Pure 8 car of Jason Harrison, and that's the way we're going to line them up here tonight. 160 laps about to start here for the second to final race of the season as the iRacing pace car makes the left-hand turn down pit road. Here we go as the green flag is officially waving here at Miami.
Inside road got a little bit better start than the outside road. Of course, these first few laps with this package is basically who can push who. Although that outside lane looks Dan Dill getting a little push from Justin Wilson. They're going to overhaul Michael Sturgill into turn 3.
And down into turn 3 it will be the number 81 here of Dan Dill, who got a great push by the Scooby-Doo Chevrolet of Justin Wilson. And Jamie Leach is going to go for a slide off turn 4.
Oh, he's going to go right back into the field and collect 38 of Cody Levitt. Still no caution now. There it is. We don't even complete one lap before we get a caution here.
The caution flag coming out of turn number 4 for the first time here tonight. It would be the number 2 of Jamie Leach going for a little bit of a slide, collecting the 7.5 Brewery number 38 machine. We're going to have to watch that back on the replay here.
That's honestly amazing, though, how he came back into the field after there weren't more cars involved. Well, John Mullins just barely missed him to the left there.
That looked like Jamie tried to lock her down there, but unfortunately the car pointed back onto the racing surface, hits the outside wall, and then collects that 38 of Cody Levitt. There was just nowhere that the 38 of Levitt was going to go. We're back here one more time and show you if we can find Cody Levitt.
That car is heavily damaged in the front. That's on these mile-and-a-half track arrow is extremely important, so I'm afraid his night's ruined right off the bat.
Yeah, didn't even get a chance to race for it here with Jamie going around and Cody with nowhere to go. The front nose of that 7.5 Brewing Chevrolet is completely tore off, and that car tonight will no longer be competitive.
Jamie's car doesn't look terrible, but he's definitely going to have to come in and have that service. Mainly on the right front, the splitter's a little bit misaligned, as well as the right rear bumper and the spoiler.
Unfortunate start here to Homestead. For a lot of these drivers, we'll throw the top bar up at the top of the screen. Find where your driver is running right now. It looks like Dan Dill, who did lead a lap, he actually comes down pit road with the VP Racing Fuel 1 machine. They're the second pit stall. Or tire stop for Dan Dill here. Then he's going to sit and wait just a little bit. Steve Holmes will be the first one off pit road in the number 9 car. Then it'll be Dan Dill, Jason, and G, Cody Levitt, and Jeff Pogo all sitting down here for extended periods of time.
But that will give the lead to Justin Wilson. Very interesting. Only one lap in the books to see our race leader come down pit road, but trying to the math on fuel, about between 50 and say 53 or 4 laps these guys can squeeze out of a full tank. So that probably played into his decision as well as the others.
Dan Dill always playing some weird strategies out there. He likes to see what he can do, and right now he'll have to line up back in the 15th spot as we double him back up here. 20 cars took took to the track here, but it looks like Steve Schmidt still having a little bit of computer issues, so he did not take to the grid here. 19 drivers still out there because you see Cody Levitt coming back out on track with that mangled up Chevrolet. He'll restart in the 19th position.
And you know what? I'm scrolling back through the field here. One of those cars that pitted was our points leader, Jeff Pogo. He actually got into the wall, turns 3 and 4, just before that crash occurred. So a little bit of damage on his right front.
So we're lining back up. We'll try it again here on lap number 6 as the field works its way through turns 3 and 4 under the yellow flag circumstances here, but the iRacing pace car will make the left-hand turn once again and head down pit road. Almost takes out the water barrier. Pretty interesting move there by the pace car driver, but the green flag is waving once again, and here we go. It is going to be Sturgill to the outside this time. Wilson was your leader there, but doesn't look like Wilson got just that good of a run down the front stretch, but he will fight back to the bottom here in turns 1 and 2.
The bottom should prevail here in the first, say, 5 to 7 or 8 laps, but then the groove is going to start moving up.
Down into 3, it will be Wilson, then Sturgill, then Barry will go side by side with LaFaro. Can LaFaro...
Oh, we got a car really sideways in the back and a nice save.
Looks like that
That
was
Pogo
actually...
again? Now that was a 9. I believe. I don't know, behind him. It was actually Dan Dill. I nearly lost it.
Michael Bromley trying to take over the 9th position from Robert Dudley there out of turn 2. Wasn't able to do it, so he jumps back up in line in front of the 14 there of Jeff Price. That was definitely a good while, and he's might be able to see him back behind the wheel here in the USRA Cup Series. Wilson gonna lead another one here, so right now he has 4 laps here out of the 8 laps to himself. The next side-by-side battle will be Big John Mullins in the green 64 machine going around Big Country Kohlhaas. Ira Kohlhaas having a good run also on Tuesday.
Mullins scraped the wall trying to get that wide arc into turn 3. And John's having some rough luck here recently. If you recall, he had a very good shot at winning Talladega after leading almost half the race and then got taken out coming to the checkered flag, and an early exit last week at Pocono wound up finishing last in the field. And he's one of those guys right there on the top edge of the top 10 in points, so he's looking for a solid run. Moved up 4 spots since the beginning of the race.
Up into that 6th spot, starting so he is on a charge to the front. Look for him to be one of those competitors that find themselves up front here tonight before this race is over. We've sort of filed out, but Eric Hawley is now looking to the inside of Luke LaFaro in turn 1. He elected that it wasn't going to be the time yet for that move, as he'll fall back into that 5th position. He stays right there in the draft of those 2 in front of him, Chase Berry and Luke LaFaro.
Everyone's starting to single file out a little bit, running just above that first seam. Tires 8, that bottom under the seam is going to be really tricky, kind of similar to Michigan. Even on fresh tires, like we saw on the back of the field with Dan Dill on the restart, get away from you.
Yeah, Dan Dill hasn't really been able to recover from that little bit of a slip there when we went back to green flag racing. He is still sitting back in this 18th spot as he goes down the backstretch. Going to peek down to the inside here in turn 3 on the 44 Pure Inc car of Jason Harrison. They get real close down there in the center of 3 and 4, but they were able to work it out by the time they came off the corner, and it would be Dan Dill going around him. But now here comes Harrison fighting back to the inside with his Chevrolet. See if he can make the move back down here in turn 1. We're coming out of turn number 2, because right above or right in front of them is going to be that 36 speed shop driver of Jason Harrison to Jamie Leach and him going back and forth with each other about who is going to have that 15th, 16th spot.
Still a very interesting decision by Dan Dill to hit out of the lead. And then right now he's showing that maybe not the best idea, because he's having a hard time getting past some of these cars. Talk about the importance of track position.
These are your only side-by-side cars right now through the timing and scoring as they do go single filed out as Dan Dill does take away that 15th position from Jason Eisenhower for the time being. See if Eisenhower is able to make a charge back on him. Eisenhower had one of the faster cars in our practice session, but that practice session here tonight was ran during the daytime. And right now the lights are on here at Miami, and the track temp sitting at, well, a little bit higher temp than it was in qualifying. I believe it was 78 in qualifying. It's 79 right now here under the race conditions.
Michael Sturgill has repassed Chase Berry for that second position, and he's trying to hunt down Justin Wilson to retake the lead.
Won't be able to have it though at the line as Wilson still carries that position by just about 2.5 car lengths by the time they get down to the run. They have about a half-second gap back to Chase Berry, who is pulling the next 3 cars in line. It'll be Berry in third, LaFaro in fourth. Holly is sitting back there in that 5th position. John Mullins just a little bit farther back off Holly. Give that about 2.5 car length gap there. The Big Country Kohlhaas in that 33, all bucked up Chevrolet. He is still sitting there in that 7th position.
After starting 15th, so he's made a nice charge these first 15 laps. As he closes in on the back end of John Mullins.
Right behind them, there is that battle, though. Miroslav Mach in the 8th position. Now call it the 9th position because here comes Robert Dunley in his ALS machine, and he's looking to the inside. Jeff is just sitting back there. It's the Jeff and Jeff for the 10th and the 11th position, 14th, 24 cars. I guess the Jeffs are wild there with the 4s.
Luke LaFar right now, he's up here in 4th place, but he's got a lot of pressure on him from Eric Holly, getting very close on getting into the back of him in turn 3. Luke knows he's got to make something happen tonight. Well, here comes Eric Holly trying to force him to give up that spot.
Cody Levitt, though, right out in front of our leader here with his 38 machine. He's going to stay to the outside lane. That car all mangled up. Right now, he's just out there running for pride, running for, I guess he's still out there and wants some points yet here tonight.
Oh.
He came into it 15th in points. And with Chris Brown not here, he should be able to pick up that, keep that 38 machine out there on track.
Oh, look at Holly. Still trying to get by LaFaro and John Mullins. You see that bottom groove starting to go away a little bit as we put some laps on the tires. Now about 15 laps at full green flag speed.
Yeah, so Holly loses a couple there. He is back to the 6th position now, but he's still got all 4 quarter panels straight on that Ford Mustang. I guess for a Ford to be fast, that's exactly what you need is 4 straight quarter panels. But he's sitting right there in front of Kohlhaas, and he actually slides up the track a little bit there in turn 4. Turn 4, one of those corners here at Miami that you're going to see that a lot. A lot of guys take different angles out of it. A lot of you're going to see exit turn 4 on the bottom, and a couple of them you're going to see it slide right off the corner, right up against that outside wall to try and, use as much track as you can here. That battle for that 10th position still is brewing. It looks like Jeff Pogo has got around Miroslav for the 9th spot, but Jeff Price still trying to get his 14 machine inside the top 10 here. He's just sitting in the 11th spot. How about Dan Dill, though? Talked about him as he took the lead there on lap number 1, led a lap, and then when the caution came out, he came down pit road, and then he had that huge slide on the restart. He has now worked his way back up to the 12th position, and looking at his lap times, he is actually about 4/10 of a second faster than a couple of the guys that are sitting in front of him. He's actually running very comparable times to Michael Sturgeon, who runs in that 2nd position with the number 90 right now. Can Dan Dill pick him back up inside the top 5 here tonight on these long green flag runs if we get one long enough here?
Luke LaFar right now is really having to play defense. He's able to fend off a challenge right there by John Mullins, but he's only running 32.5 while the leaders in front of him are gapping him. All 3 of them are running 32.1.
He's kind of hornet's nest right there. Toyota leading this, a little bit of a charge here in that 4th position. The man out of California, that is Luke LaFaro. John Mullins in his Chevrolet. Here comes Ira Kohlhaas. He'll work to the outside of that Ford of Eric Holly, so he'll take over the 6th position.
Eric's starting to back up a little bit. Looks like the handle is beginning to drop away on that 8 car again.
And this new tire model, you're going to see guys come and go and then possibly come again later on in the long run here. See if Eric Holly's able to save a little bit of the tires on his Knauf Ford, if you will, and try and pick his way back up here. Right now, though, Jeff Pogo is looking to the inside here on Robert Dudley in his ALS 49 machine. He'll be able to label the 8th position. Jeff Pogo is the highest runner who did come down pit road on that first yellow, so he has 4 lap, if you will, fresher tires on that Mach-E 24 machine.
He's able to make the bottom work right there as he passes Dudley for that spot. We're getting back to the whole tire thing with this new model. I mean, saving tires has always been important, but with this tire model, it's even more important than it used to be. And those who can really manage it the best and make their way towards the front at the end of the run, they're going to be the ones to beat.
Jeff Pogo, one of those guys that is usually able to save the tires on his Ford Mustang. Maybe it just doesn't have enough power to really chew them up here. But right now he runs in that E position, about a half second back from Eric Holly, who runs in the 7th position. See Pogo choosing to run a little bit lower line there through turn 4, unlike Eric Holly, who's right up against that outside wall. That could just be the different, wear on those tires between the 2 drivers. Luke LaFaro also still hanging on to that 4th position. But look at John Mullins. He's a little bit lower, trying to put some fresh air on the nose of that Chevrolet as they came out of turn number 2. They are sitting right now, Luke LaFaro, John Mullins, about 3.5 seconds behind your leader of Justin Wilson, who has now started to officially open up a little bit of a gap over that Ford there with Michael Sturgio, who runs just back there in 2nd.
Got about 0.8 of a second on him as LaFaro still holds off Mullins for that 4th position. Talk about Mullins trying to peek out and get some air through the nose of that car. Like another thing, once the tires get a lot of wear on them, that I've noticed that the air push becomes even worse.
Have to keep an eye on that. Right now, though, they are sitting a little bit farther back. Now it's 3.5 seconds for LaFaro, almost 4 seconds back for John Mullins. Kohlhaas is just right behind them, running in that position. Now it's the battle between the 2 teammates. The 24 Pogo working to be inside here in turn 1 and 2. Can he get around Eric Holly? He will clear Holly by the time they come out of turn 2. It'll be Jeff Pogo back into the 7th spot, trying to mount the charge to run down LaFaro. Right now, LaFaro in that 4th spot. Pogo, your other championship contender, he is in the 7th position.
He has sliced through this field after restarting basically dead last almost. Now up to the 7th position, all within about a 25 lap span.
Looking back through, it looks like Michael Bromley has been into the wall there with the draft top machine. Looks like the right front is pretty tore up. He's up there trying to run that Kyle Larson line, then runs down the track to try and get a little bit of momentum built up in that car. Not sure where he hit the wall, when he hit the wall, but I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Bromley is back to the 18th position with that number 7 draft top machine, and it's looking like he is running about, call it about a second slower a lap right now with that damage. It just shows you how bad, as he wiggles off turn number 4, how bad just a little crinkle on that right front is going to hurt the aerodynamics here.
Same what could be said about Jamie Leach after that wreck off turn 4 to start the race. He's still stuck back here in 16th place and can't really go anywhere.
He's in 16th right now, going for 15th as he goes under the 44 of Jason Anderson. Jason falls back just a little bit. It looks like the Sim Speed Shop 36 of Eisenhower is also right there in the mix, about a second behind them. They're back there 15th, 16th, 17th for that time being. A long race here. They are sitting, though, right behind your leaders at about 11.5 seconds there for these 3 drivers behind the leader of Justin Wilson, who is still laying down lap times in the 32.6s. A lot of other there's only one other driver that was down into the 32.6s last time by, and that was Michael Sturgill. Everybody else, 32.8, 32.9s. A couple guys already fallen down there into the 33 second bracket. But right now, your top three, it is Wilson out front, Sturgill in second, and then it's the Pure Ink number 10 here of Chase Berry with a brand new Bromley Designs paint scheme on that number 10. Looking pretty good out there, pretty sharp chrome numbers on that Pure Ink car. John Mullins is running in the fourth spot as Luke LaFaro is on the high side trying to work his way around that 64 of Mullins. Well, will that inside lane prevail here as they come down the front stretch, down into turn number 1? They get real close to each other down there into turn 1, but it's going to be Luke LaFaro as Mullins looks like he actually lifted there and allowed Luke LaFaro to have the position. Maybe Mullins being the smart move there and doesn't want to battle for it here on lap 33. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a bunch of positions with that. Cole Haas takes 5th. Now here comes Pogo for the 6th spot.
I'm sure he didn't quite appreciate that little move very much, but I mean, Luke's got to do all he can do to try to defend where he's at, and he knows that Jeff Pogo behind him is on his way towards the front. That's not what he wants to see.
And right now, Luke LaFaro is looking in his mirror. He does see the bucked-up Chevrolet of Cole Haas, and then right behind him, he sees that white front end of that Ford, and he knows that is Jeff Pogo. His spotter's in his ear telling him where the 24 of Pogo is. Right now, Pogo with those fresh tires, well, fresh earned tires, I guess if you really want to say at this point. I'm not sure if they're really that fresh and making a difference out there, but Pogo is definitely one of the faster cars last time by.
Here he goes on their Cole Haas. Side by side for 5th place. Where Luke would like to see Cole Haas race him a little bit here and put some separation between the two.
That inside lane looks like it's going to prevail out of the corner, but the speed difference on the outside, and now maybe just a little bit of a push there from Mullins to the 33, but it's not going to help. Look at Pogo really work the bottom. He gets the turn in the center of the corner. He'll make the pass coming out of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Will Cole Haas be able to mount the charge back down here in 3? He will not. He will fall back and just settle for the time being there in the 6th spot. So Pogo now right behind Luke LaFaro here, 4th and 5th, your championship contenders.
Well, it's still Justin Wilson out front by about a second. Chase Berry running by himself in 3rd, about 3.2 behind the race leader. Those three have kind of checked out on everyone else. Now Jeff Pogo begins to make up some ground on LaFaro. Again, using that bottom of the racetrack, that's really impressive. This late in the tire run to be able to make that work. I mean, I know he's on a couple lap fresher tires than most of the field, but at this point, kind of have leveled out.
And Michael Bromley in the number 7 will be the first one down pit road. I think this is an unscheduled stop for Michael Bromley. Is Justin Wilson just looking at it? I think Wilson maybe still looking at possibly a good solid 20 laps before he will bring Scooby-Doo down for a refreshment. We'll come across the line there. Now lap 38 officially in the book. Wilson has led 35 laps here. Last time by, opened up that lead just a little bit over Michael Sturgill, but he's still sitting there. Sturgill still has a little bit of the draft off that 58 as they work down the backstretch here. Once again, Chase Berry, though, is officially out of that draft zone as he's just fallen too far back with the Lego smiley face helmet. Everybody else is single filed out pretty much. This is your closest battle, and that's Eric Hawley backing up through the field. Here comes the 31 Turn 3 Racing Network of Donald Bennett, as Dan Dill has actually worked his way inside the top 10 now as he runs just ahead of these guys in that 9th position.
Eric Hawley is taking a nosedive through this field. He's dropped back to 10th position. That car looks really tight. Looks like he's really having a hard time getting back to the gap in the center. He's under fire for that 10th position after running as high as about 4th earlier.
Now just trying to stay inside the top 10. Jeff Price just sitting back there also. He is trying to find himself inside that top 10. He just has not been able to really get there. He's been as high as 11th at one point, and now he is back to the 12th position as Bennett worked his way around him. Bennett here maybe saved tires on this long run with his all chromed out 31 machine. Side by side once again with Eric Holly. It seems like Bennett can get off the corner just a little bit better on that bottom than Holly can on the top side. And then halfway down the straightaway, that momentum rolls the 8 right back around the 31 machine. As Cody Levitt also up there getting passed up by that 81 of Dan Dill. That is not a battle for position, but that is a battle there on track. Robert Dudley also under fire up there in that 7th position.
Contact. Luke LaFar gets turned into the outside wall. He got hit in the center of the corner by Robert Dudley. But a big moment in the championship.
You're going to have to throw the Turn for Your Racing replay back to see what happened there between them. They were battling for that 6th position. Let's watch and see if we can dissect what happened here between the 49 of Robert Dudley and the number 20 here of Luke LaFaro. LaFaro is now all the way back to the 14th on the timing and scoring. This happens, I believe, coming out of turn number 2 as you see him come down the front stretch here. Let's see what happens as... Oh, it goes into turn 1. Just Luke comes down. It looks like Dudley possibly coming up. They make contact, and LaFaro saves the car, but there's a ton of right side damage. You see his pancake that Toyota up against the turn 1 wall.
Yeah, that car is in really bad shape. I think he got put that more on the 49. I mean, Luke did come down a little bit to try to make his normal arc into the corner, but like Dudley... Oh, Luke tried to get on pit road there and missed it.
Insult to injury there for the driver of the 20s. He's going to miss pit road as he tried to come down there. Short pit possibly. See how much damage actually is done to that DC Solar Toyota. And now he's back to the 17th spot and well off the pace. It looks like 21 seconds behind your leader is Luke LaFaro. Sparks there out of turn 2 off the right front of that car also. So that car is definitely wounded here tonight. Will he be coming down pit road? Looks like that car is actually swaying back and forth a little bit. Maybe that's Luke trying to find out if there's anything actually done underneath that car, as he'll now get it loaded up and down on the pit road. That's a big blow to Luke LaFaro, who came in second in the championship hunt. He was 37 points out of the championship hunt, and now with that little bit of an incident, he'll go a lap down, and I believe his championship hunt might be over if Jeff Pogo continues to climb through the field like he is, because he is now in the 4th position, and he is actually running just as fast as your leader, lap-wise.
Yeah, that is a shame for Luke, as he's actually stepped out of the cockpit, maybe to take a look at the replay himself, maybe cool off a little bit. I'm sure he's not a happy young man. By the way, for the fans that saw the way Luke came down pit road, that is new for Homestead. At years past, you would have had to use the access road to get to pit road without incurring a penalty, but iRacing has changed that, and you can pit without having to go down that access road. Although, as we saw Luke's first attempt, it can be really tricky. Like we saw, even in the real-life Xfinity race, Christopher Bell missed pit road on the green and cost him.
Got 2 drivers down pit road right now. It'll be the 20 of LaFaro and the 7 of Bromley. Bromley actually coming back out onto the track. That has been his 2nd time down pit road in the draft top number 7 machine. There's actually even more damage on that car now. Now there's left front damage and left rear damage. I believe Miami not a favorable track here for Michael Bromley tonight.
Eric Holly just continues to drop back. If you ask me, he's going to be one of the first ones on pit road. He's back to 13th position. Looking at Robert Dudley's car after that contact, doesn't look like there's really any noticeable air damage to the right front of that car.
And Dudley in 5th position right now. Cole Haas has started to fade just a little bit off the rear bumper of that 49 machine. Jeff Pogo, since getting around Robert Dudley, has pulled about a 1.5 seconds up on him. Your top 5 drivers here before we get into green flag pit stops, which I'm going to say is probably coming here within the next 10, probably within the next 10 to 12 laps. Right now, it is Justin Wilson in the Cartoon Network machine.
There's one car on pit road, and it is Eric Holly, like I thought he would, based on how he's brought back through this field. Someone else behind him. That's Luke Lafar coming to get more repairs. And it looks like Jeff Pogo is diving down off the racetrack, and here he comes to pit road. So they're the guys up front have taken note of that, and they should be in within the next lap or so.
Yeah, remember, Jeff Pogo was one of the drivers that came down under that first yellow as Eric Holly is down on the way in his 8 machine. Pogo is going to come down. He's going to hit the side for his 24 crew. That was a nice, easy, gentle stop there. Right side tires going up as here comes your leader of Wilson, Sturgill, Barry, Dudley, Olhaus. Now your top 5 drivers here at Miami.
I won't say that the pressure is completely off of Jeff Pogo, but he's definitely got to be feeling a lot better about his chances. Donald Bennett, kind of odd. Looked like he almost started to look like he was trying to pit from the outside lane, but he was just kind of pulling down out of the way. All right, looks to be a little off the pace. Might be pitting this time.
Let's see, will the 31 Turn 3 Racing Network car be coming down pit road? He'll miss
way
pit
too
road.
fast. Way too fast.
I believe somebody else right behind him just came into pit road. Was the 10 of Chase Berry was in front of him coming down pit road. As out was the 68 of Miroslav Mach, who is actually backwards on the track, but he's off the racing surface. He'll find his way to pit road.
Yeah, he actually ended up hitting that barrier, those barrels down there, and damaged that left front. Well, Jeff Pogo was really lucky that a caution didn't come out right there, because he was close to the racing surface, but not close enough to be in the quote racing groove. And here comes some more people into the pits.
Donald Bennett actually makes it to pit road there. The third time by is a charm for the driver of the 31. John Mullins also bringing the green machine down pit road, so that'll leave just a handful of drivers still out there as your leader of Wilson still turning laps. Question will be how far can he stretch it? He had the lead, and he had a good, comfortable lead. Right now it's sitting at 2.5 seconds over Michael Sturgill, who is still yet to pit. Robert Dudley is sitting about 10, almost 11 seconds back behind your leader of Wilson here. So you're waiting on just the top 5 here and a couple other of the stragglers through the field to come down pit road. Jason Arison, I believe, is down pit road now in the Pure 8 car, and here does come your leader. Oh, he misses pit road too.
Oh.
Sturgill's going to come down pit road. He'll hit pit road. He won't miss it. Wow, what a change in events this might be here. This is the first time that these guys have come to the Miami Homestead Speedway here and not had to pit down the backstretch. Remember, you used to have to come off of turn 4 there onto the access road to get to pit road. That no longer is the factor. You can come right off turn 4 hot pitting, and a lot of these guys have had trouble so far here tonight doing it.
That's about 3 or 4 times. We had a major malfunction with Jason Eisenhower's car. That was really bizarre. Just kind of slowed down to about 115 miles an hour in the middle of turn 1 and 2, and now here he comes to pit road.
So your leader of Wilson and Eisenhower both coming down pit road. Eisenhower right now sitting in the 10th position, and he's going to fall through the field a little bit. He is 1 lap down. We'll see how far he falls. Jeff Price does take over the lead in the number 14 machine here under the green flag pit stops. Him and Steve Holmes are the only 2 drivers that have yet to come down, and it looks like Holmes is down onto the inside here on the backstretch, maybe looking for himself to come down this time by in that number 14 machine.
I'll be interested to see where Michael Sturgill comes out in relation to Justin Wilson. Yep,
right there Yeah, right there will be your answer. It'll be Michael Sturgill going around the 58 there of Wilson, but look who is on the back bumper of the number 90 now, and that is Jeff Pogo. He is reeled back in Jeff Sturgill. So that, once everything cycles through, should be the battle for the lead. Wilson goes from leading now to being about, call it about 3 seconds back behind these two drivers. Jeff Price is down pit road, and so is the number 9 on Stephen Holmes. So that'll turn things over to Sturgill, Pogo, Wilson, Barry, Dill, your top 5 drivers here after those green flag pit cycles.
Oh, Jeff Pogo and near contact with the wall right there. But yeah, that was a big moment right there for Michael Sturgill to not only get on the pit road clean, but because of they were pitting at the same time, that's basically 1 lap fresher tires compared to Justin Wilson as well. Wilson had about a 1.5 second lead when he came to pit road, or attempted to get on the pit road, and now he's 1.3 back, so lost about 3 seconds in that exchange.
It looks like 4 cars within the same straightaway of each other. Your top 4, Sturgill, Pogo, Wilson, Barry. But, you know, Jeff Pogo hanging it out last time by there out of turn number 4. You know, on the internet the other day on Facebook, Dan Dill had posted a video of him and Jeff Pogo back in the day. They're drifting some of their Ford Mustangs, and now Pogo bringing it here to the iRacing platform, hanging it out, drifting that machine. I'm sure that's not what he exactly was trying to do, but he made it work just like the old days.
Yes, he sure did. See Stephen Holmes coming off pit road. He was on for an extended period of time. He must have had some kind of penalty. Excuse me. Some kind of penalty, because I saw him get his service and then sit there for about 30 seconds. So he might have been too fast on entry. That's going to drop him to 16th place. He's now scored 2 laps down. And Robert Dudley, possibly the same thing.
Yeah, Dudley's down on pit road for the last minute and 10 seconds it's showing, but Sturgill is still your leader as Cody Levitt is sideways onto pit road of the 38 machine as he blinks out there, but he actually gets loaded up and he will get to pit road here without causing any more damage to that machine. But Sturgill is your leader by about a half second over Jeff Pogo. Maybe that 5-lap tire difference right now for the 90 over the 24 is going to be something to watch out for. Here comes Wilson, though. He might peek to the inside here on Jeff Pogo. He will not. Now he actually is going to throw it down to the inside.
And Pogo, yeah, he's going to let him have that spot. Wilson kind of took it at the same time, but after Jeff Pogo, it'd be best to just ride it out. He's
right
still
now,
got about 4 seconds to chase Barry, so he's comfortably in that 3rd place position.
Yeah, and just looking back through to see where Luke Lafaro is, he's back out on track, but he is 8 laps down in that machine, and he is sitting in the 19th position. The last car still out there running. So it's going to be a very rough night here for Luke Lafaro. He's going to need a couple of these guys to possibly drop out if he was going to be able to pick up any more positions. Michael Bromley would be the car in front of him, and he's the car in front of him on track also in the draft top machine. Bromley runs in the 18th position, 4 laps ahead of Luke Lafaro, so that's a lot of ground to try and make up if you're Luke Lafaro. Cody Levitt, Robert Dudley, they're also all 4 laps down, so there's 3 cars 4 laps down right now.
He would need some kind of catastrophic turn of events to take place, because he's, like you said, 4 laps behind the next car, and plus the way how everybody's spread out here, and the fact, based on this racetrack, usually has a green flag feel to it. I mean, it's going to be extremely difficult for Luke, unless he would literally need to have everyone start dropping like flies, literally.
And we have seen guys go sideways here. Remember, Jamie Leach on lap 1 went sideways. We saw Jeff Pogo hanging it out. We have seen Michael Bromley's been into the outside wall. Miroslav Mach's been into the outside wall also with his 68 machine. He's also been into the inside pit wall. But, I mean, there are guys that have had some difficulties here tonight. You can see your leaders actually coming out of turn 2 as these guys are going down into turn number 1. So there are chances for guys to possibly make mistakes, and yellow flags may still come here tonight. But with all this racing room, we're going to see who's able to work themselves into a good position. Remember, you're talking about Jamie Leach, who spun on lap number 1 out of turn 4. He is actually up into the 8th position now. or sorry, the 7th position, 8th would be Eric Holly. So even though Jamie has the damage on that Great Lakes Brewing car, maybe he got a little bit of it fixed under the yellow flag. And actually, I'm now seeing for the first time rear end damage on that number 2.
I did get some help with a couple of guys in front of them getting some pit road penalties, but yeah, it is a nice recovery so far. It'd be up in 7th and within striking distance of Mullins in front of them in 6th. But meanwhile, for the lead, Justin Wilson is pulled almost just about a car length behind Michael Sturgill, and he's going to be pulling Scooby-Doo right up to the back bumper.
Sturgill running for his life right now. Sturgill's first year here with the USRA. Doesn't have a win. Would like to grab one here before the season is over. But right now he's going to have to battle with the man who just wins everything. And that's Justin Wilson along with his friends Scooby-Doo and Shaggy 2. A long way to go. Still 92 laps here tonight as Justin Wilson hounds the back end there of that number 90.
It's been constantly clicking off about 10th a lap. He's running just a little bit lower, like right on the seam, while Sturgill's about a half cruise above it. Of course, the old cliche, catching them is one thing, but passing them is another. And here at Homestead, you need the entire track to make a pass down on the bottom. And even so, that guy that you're passing is more than likely going to have a huge run on the top side of the track. So Justin's got his work cut out for him trying to make this pass. He might have to move up higher on the track to do it.
Or he might just sit there and play possum with Sturgill. He is there. There's no need to go out there and actually risk it to pass it, because think about where Jeff Pogo is. Jeff Pogo has fallen to almost 4 seconds back now. It looks like a little over 3.5 seconds behind these two. So maybe Wilson can save some fuel also by sitting there behind the 90 of Sturgill. We were talking before this, Taylor. It looked like it could possibly be a 2-stop race here, but a lot of these guys actually pitted a little bit sooner than we thought they were gonna, so that might play factor here if Wilson wants to save the fuel behind the 90.
Yeah, that is a very good point. So the guys that stretched it a little bit longer, they're definitely on the 2-tire strategy, but the 2-stop strategy. But some of the guys that pitted a little early might be having to make an additional one.
And remember a couple laps ago when we said Luke LaFaro was going to need a little help from a couple of his competitors? Well, Cody Levitt looks like he was down pit road for about 5 minutes, and that allowed Luke LaFaro to pick up a position. But Luke LaFaro still showed 8 laps down, but now he is actually, well, he's going to about to go 9 laps down, but he has now picked up 1 position, and he is in the 18th spot. Michael Brownlee still sitting 3 laps ahead of him as the leaders are coming up on Luke right now.
He still needs a lot of help, and that car is in very poor condition, as you can see. Not much you can do but to just let the leaders go right here. Chase Berry is beginning to run down Jeff Pogo. Actually down to about 1.5 seconds difference between these guys for 3rd and 4th. Pogo probably just taking it easy and saving his stuff.
Yeah, Pogo, though, remember, was one of the first guys down pit road here tonight. So he possibly could be saving fuel. Let's take a ride around Miami here with Jeff Pogo as we're just closing in on the halfway point here tonight. as we took a couple laps around Miami here with Jeff Pogo, who runs in the third spot. He was your championship leader coming into the night by 37 points over Luke Lafaro, has now fallen back into the clutches of the Pure Inc. number 10 here of Chase Berry, who has just been clicking off laps about 2/10 of a second faster a lap, so he'll be knocking on that back door here in probably just about a lap and a half. Bromley into the outside wall in the draft top number 7. He's just out there scraping up the whole entire side, and as a painter out of the Michael Bromley design stable, I'm sure that breaks his heart, because that is a brand new paint scheme on that number 7 here tonight.
And it is a shame to see it drop, but watching this battle between second and third, Chase Berry definitely is, for third and fourth I should say. Chase Berry is run down Jeff Pogo, and now is close enough to get in this draft. Running a little bit, this time he's right on the scene, but in 3 and 4 last time he was almost up in the third lane. And I definitely noticed that he's able to get back to the gas and keep it mashed down all the way through the center, while Pogo's having to kind of feather it.
Yeah, and a couple weeks ago, Chase Berry had Oculus issues with that rig of his down there in Florida, and he has now switched over to running a monitor. If you remember back weeks ago, maybe even months ago, Chase Berry has had blinking issues. Well, I'm going to say for as long as I can know Chase Berry, he has had blinking issues, and now he has had to ditch the Oculus because it was pulling too much power out of his sim rig, and now he has gone back to just a regular monitor. And since he has gone back to a monitor, Chase Berry has really been on a roar as Pogo goes high down there in 3. Here comes Berry down to the inside. He'll look to take away the third position. Pogo will give it to him out of turn number 4, now give that Pure Inc. number 10 the third spot. But Berry, ever since switching over to a monitor, has been on a rip, and he is coming back to the front here now that he has third.
See Michael Bromley down pit road again, but yeah, I mean, he's working on a really solid week right here. Of course, talked about his amazing photo finish victory last night over Justin Wilson, and working on another podium so far tonight.
Yeah, closing in actually just over that halfway point here tonight out of the 160 laps for your Travis Mansion Foundation 250 here for the USRA Cup Series. Chase Berry could podium 2 times in a week. I'm sure that's something he would want to do. He'd like to get up there and battle, though, these two who are 8 seconds, a little over 8 seconds ahead of him right now, and that is going to be Michael Sturgill, who's still out front leading this thing. And then it is Justin Wilson. Wilson, oh, real close to the outside wall there, coming out of turn 4. May have got a little piece of it looking at Scooby-Doo, and I don't see any wrinkles on that car, but, oh, he was pretty darn close.
Yeah, you got really lucky there. That shows you just how much track they're having to use coming off these corners, especially off turn 4, like we've documented. Looks like he's starting to develop a bit of a push these last couple of laps, as he nearly flips the right rear against the wall again, as they're working on the lap car of Jason Harrison in front of them.
Jason runs in the 12th position right now, as he is possibly going to be going a lap down here to your leaders, and that will only give us 11 drivers then on the lead lap, and we're about halfway into this fuel stint here for them. Michael Bromley is back out on track in his number 7. Here's your leader of Sturgill, goes underneath the 44 of Harrison. Now the 58 of Wilson will have to pass his teammate. He does get around him then before he heads down into turn number 1. Now it looks like Sturgill has about a car length and a half, call it 2 car lengths by the time they get down into 1. Maybe those old tires for Justin Wilson. As I heard somebody into the outside wall there, but might have been Chase Berry. He was down. Maybe not. I don't know. I heard it go boom, but I didn't see it go boom. But Wilson, maybe with those older tires, Wilson has developed that push with all that air back behind Sturgill.
Still matching lap times with them, though. I mean, they've both been in the high 7s last couple of laps. Still sticking to his line.
Donald Bennett would be the next car that your leaders come up on. Right now he is sitting about a half a corner back to your leaders. As there you see them come off turn 4. Wilson really hanging it out all the way up against that outside wall coming out of turn number 4. John Mullins has taken back over that 7th position from Jamie Leach. Ira Kohlhaas still hanging inside the top 6, but look at the man who drove all the way back up to 5th here now. And I'm looking at it, it looks like he's actually 4 seconds behind Jeff Pogo. And actually still turning faster laps than Jeff himself. So Dan Dill is coming back to the front here. Could he put that 81 onto a podium finish yet here tonight?
He's consistently been 0.2 a lap faster each lap compared to the 24 of Pogo and the 10 of Barry.
Ever since Chase Berry did get around Jeff Pogo, he pulled about a half second on him, and then it has just kind of sat there. He hasn't been able to go any farther up towards your leaders, as they are now 10.5 seconds back. Remember, Pogo at one point was running in the 2nd position right on the deck lid of Michael Sturgill, and now has fallen back here to that 4th position. Since he has the older tires, he actually has the oldest tires compared to actually Eric Holly has the oldest, if you will. He pitted 38 laps ago. Pogo now pitted 38 laps ago also. So they're on, call it the same tire strategy between the two teammates there out of the Gateway Glass City Motorsport.
Just 11 cars on the lead lap at this point in time, and Donald Bennett being the last of those. Being right, although he's about a second away from getting put a lap down. Still only one caution to this point. That occurred at the end of the very first lap with Jamie Leach and Cody Levitt. We've been clean and green ever since, other than that little incident with Luke LaFaro and that pit road incident with the 68 of Miroslav Mach that did not bring out the caution.
Yeah, so your leaders here are officially on the rear end here of the 31 of Donald Bennett. The question is going to be, where are they officially going to go? We're dropped down the timing and scoring on the left-hand side of the screen here. Allow you to find your favorite driver, because we have 20 here. 20 shown on the screen. Did not start for Steve Schmidt in the Herbie Schmidt car. Here comes Sturgill. He'll go to the bottom here. Bennett will give him all the room he needs. Bennett will go run that 3rd lane all the way up at the top of the track, and you will allow your leader to get through it. Now, almost contact. Actually, it looks like they were almost headed to go to the same area. It was going to be the 58 and the 31 of Bennett. They make it through, though. And it looks like it's going to let Sturgill pull away just a little bit more again.
Eric Holly on pit road, that he's definitely on a 3-stop strategy. He comes in to get his 4 tires. So we're going to find out quickly on just who's on the 2-stop strategy and who's on a 3-stop strategy. As those who are on a 3-stop strategy should be coming in very shortly, while the guys on just 2 try to stretch it to the end of their fuel run.
Yeah, Holly was running inside the top 10. He was 9th at the time of him pitting, right behind Jamie Leach. So see where he cycles back through after all this. We'll see what kind of lap times he should be running compared to the leaders. He is right now shown 2 laps down, though, to Michael Sturgill. So that's a lot of ground to make up to unlap yourself from being 2 laps down without a little help there by guys coming down pit road.
Oh, he's going to spin out. He's hitting the wall over off of turn 4. Sliding down towards the bottom of the track. That won't be a caution. Well, that certainly didn't work out at all.
We'll have to go back and watch this as we see him coming off the access road here out of pit road.
Just all by himself.
Have to wait till he gets down here into turn 3 and 4 and see what exactly happens. Remember, new tire model for these guys. And Eric Holly having a little bit of a episode.
He just basically snapped on him. Like you said, Roger, with these new tires, I mean, it takes about a lap, almost 2, to get up to optimal air pressure, and until then, it just feels like you're on ice. So now he definitely is 2 laps down.
And with that damage now done to that machine, we're going to have to see how much ground he's going to be able to make up or what pace he's able to stay at. Right now, he has shown 2 laps down as he sparks fly off the car going into turn 3. He's on the same lap now here with Miroslav Mach and his teammate, the number 9 of Stephen Holmes. Have to see where he all cycles through. Now, I don't believe he'll be inside the top 10 once these green flag stops are all through.
And more than likely not. Like those that are on the 2-stop strategy, or say they should be in about lap 105 maybe.
Jeff Pogo has ran back down Chase Berry now. He's sitting about a car length off the back deck lid of that Pure Ink car. Maybe Jeff Pogo saved his tires enough here. Now he's going to go hard for the last little bit of the stint. He pulls up to the back bumper, shows the nose to the inside here on Chase Berry down into turn number 1. Will he be able to get through the center of 1 and 2? Good. It looks like he's going to pull even by the time they come off the corner, as it's going to be a drag race down towards turn number 3.
A few laps ago, I said that Chase Berry was still able to get that car turned and rotate through the center of the corner and stay wide open. Well, that's not the case anymore, as Pogo goes by him for that 3rd spot. Holly with those fresh tires right behind them, although it does have that damage.
Looking at lap times for Eric Hawley, though, he is still about a second faster a lap than these 2 cars here on track, as he's going to split the 10 of Berry and the 24 of Pogo. Now Berry's going to shoot back to the inside here, see if he can work around the 8 of Eric Hawley.
Oh,
Hawley and him are going to make contact down here in 3. Around goes the number 8. The yellow flag comes out.
Wow. Your Chase Berry was saying, Eric, buddy, I like you, but you're interfering with my battle for 3rd place.
So that's going to bring the yellow out here. We'll throw it back to watch the replay here. The lap down car of Eric Hawley, 2 laps down, sliced and diced between the 3rd and 4th place runner. It's going to happen here going down into 3. It looks like Berry's going to get a good run here coming down the backstretch. He'll go to the inside, and then they make contact down here. It looks like Hawley might have come down just a little bit, and that's going to put damage on the 10 of Berry's car.
It looked like the 2 guys just going for the same piece of real estate. But take a look at Chase Berry's number 10. Yeah, he's got some pretty, I guess if Pogo had similar right front damage and he was able to make his way back up, so might not be too bad. But what this has done, even on the timing of this caution, we should go back to green. We're on lap 100 right now. Maybe go green lap 103, 104. That'll be right on the edge of making it on fuel.
Yeah, so everybody here on your lead lap, it looks like 11 drivers, because Donald Bennett, I think, gets his lap back here. Going to be 11 drivers on the lead lap coming down the pit road here. Everybody else will pit next time by. So it's Sergio Wilson, Pogo, and Berry, your top 4 when they hit their pit stalls here. I think Kohlhaas may have just missed his pit stall. He drives right on through pit road.
Yep, sure did. Jeff Price in the 14 has stayed on the racetrack.
Jamie Leach also staying on the track, and he'll get a lap led, but it looks like it will be Leach, Price, Kohlhaas, Sturgill will be the first one off pit road.
Wilson second off pit road, followed by Pogo and Danville. And Chase Berry had fixing whatever optional damage he has. Sure, he's not too thrilled about what took place.
Well, while we're here under yellow, race fans, we're going to step away. Jamie Leach is your leader, but you see him coming down pit road, so that will turn things over to the 90 of Sturgill. So it'll be Sturgill, Wilson, Pogo, Dill, Mullins, your top 5 drivers here under the second yellow here of the night for your Travis Mansion Foundation 250. We'll be right back here with more racing from Homestead. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Homestead Miami Speedway. Pacing lights on the iRacing pace car are off. He will make the left-hand turn. It'll be Sturgill and Wilson headed down towards turn number 1. The green flag is officially back in the air, and we are back to racing.
A solid start by Sturgill. He's going to move up in front of Justin Wilson and get that nice arc entering turn 1.
3 wide, though, back there for the 3rd position. Dill all the way to the outside. Barry in the middle. And Jeff Pogo down low as they race down the backstretch. Still 3 wide, and 3 wide behind them yet, too.
Wilson makes the charge to the front. Clear Sturgill going into turn 3. Slides up, and we got John Mullins sideways. Makes a terrific save. Oh, we got another car. Daniel Dill.
Jeff Price against the inside
no,
wall.
not Dan Dill. Yeah, it was Jeff Price, I'm sorry.
Price will make the toe after hard contact with that inside wall there. What happened to Jeff Price as he was inside the top 10 and looked like he was in the 7th position at the time of this incident, possibly. This is them coming down the backstretch here on the replay.
If they would have that 3 wide situation. It looked like off the corner, so he just bounced off the wall. Or made a little dart to the right. Again, very lucky not to get hit by anybody else sliding up the racetrack.
That looked like
That's gonna put a probably gonna put a end to his night.
Car just maybe just snapped there on him, and he tried to chase him hard contact. John Mullins got lucky along with Jay Eisenhower that they didn't run into the number 4 there as he was spinning back onto the racetrack, but that will bring out the 3rd yellow here of the night. Now you got to ask yourself, Taylor, do you come down pit road? You didn't have enough fuel to make it for a green-white checker here if you were to needed it. Do you come down now and pack her full of fuel and go back out?
Well, Dan Dill definitely is, as well as a few other guys. Yeah, I wouldn't see the real harm in it.
Dan Dill, Jeff Pogo, Ivor Kohlhaas, and it looks like John Mullins, 4 drivers out of your top 10, will take advantage of this yellow and come down. Maybe 4 fresh tires for them. Don't know that the fresh tires necessarily will mean a lot for them, but the fuel will.
Well, these guys that didn't come on the pit road and stay on the racetrack, we hear Justin Wilson. He's got the car cut off, I think. Trying to save fuel. They might need to rely on maybe one more caution to be have a little more security there. Oh, Jamie Leach backed up in the 4th position. Although he didn't pit, but still a nice recovery after what looked like going to be disaster on the very first lap. Getting away with that with not so terrible damage, but see what he can do in these last 50 laps.
iRacing, our lights. Oh, let's see if we can grab a driver who is sitting back there in the 3rd position. We can talk to Chase Berry. Chase, you got a copy? It's Taylor and Roger up here in the booth.
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. It's the man that has the Lego helmet. Chase, you won on Tuesday night here with the XRS Series, but tonight here in the Cup Series, it looks like a little bit more of a challenge for yourself. What happened down there with Eric Holly and yourself, and how much damage is done to the nose of this number 10?
I don't know. I mean, I was holding the bottom. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the replay. I really don't know. If it was my fault, I'm sorry. But I don't know. I mean, it might be one of them racing deals. I'm not going to blame nobody. The damage is, it's a little poked up a little bit. But, I don't know. We'll see what she's got, and see how this race goes.
How confident are you that you're going to make it on fuel?
Thanks for reminding me. I have no idea. We'll find out. Well, I guess we'll learning process. I guess.
Sounds like a solid plan there, Taylor. He sounds like he's just if it runs out, it runs out.
Yeah.
Gonna wing it.
Yep. I mean, a couple other guys behind you came down, pitted, but see what happens, bud.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be the last caution though. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Right.
since everybody's bunched back up together, it might not, but good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't think it's going to be the last yellow here tonight in your Travis Mann Foundation 250. He'll restart the second row, third car on the timing and scoring here.
I guess it's a good thing I reminded him, or asked about him, because it would have been bad to. He would have looked down with 3 laps to go or so. It's like, oh, I'm out of gas, and I didn't even know it.
Well,
Up
it
here in
is
that third
it is
position.
Chase Berry, and anything with Chase Berry is possible. I have learned.
That is true. Definitely true. Jeff Price has exited the session, and his night appears to be over after that crash on the front straightaway as we're getting set to go with 51 laps remaining.
Going to be a 51 lap shootout here. Will Michael Sturgeon will be able to outside, I guess, pass back around Justin Wilson. We're about to find out here. iRacing pace car down the way, and actually look at that, a little teamwork there. It looks like the 10 and the 58 going to go early. That'll get Chase Berry into the second position, and he is pushing the 58 of Wilson down into turn number 1.
That would definitely some teamwork there. Look at Jason Harrison in 4th position after nearly going a lap down earlier. Oh, he gets really sideways off turn 2. One of those guys that didn't pit, but a nice recovery for him. Oh, looks Wilson. Oh, and Barry. Oh my gosh. Barry up into the wall.
Oh!
Well, now they get together in a big wreck off turn 4, and the caution is right back out. On hard contact.
And that's going to wad him up out of turn 4. 2 of your pure ink car is going to go around and make contact. Chase Berry going to do a little bit of celebrations, I guess, there.
Now, so much for the recovery for Jason Harrison, and so much for the fuel concerns about Chase Berry, because that's definitely the least of his concerns right now. It's a couple of really heavy hits down there on the inside of the racetrack. Miroslav Mach slammed hard into the 44 of Harrison. But, I mean, just everybody, Wilson, Berry, they just get on those cold tires. It takes about 2 laps for him to finally gain the grip they need. And you see even the pole sitter and not the pole sitter, but race dominator to this point, Justin Wilson, having trouble with it.
Close call for Donald Bennett. Eric Holly was sideways. And how about Luke Lafaro? He actually came through there, and he actually just barely made it through. We'll watch this back. Let's see if we can find the an onboard camera here with Luke Lafaro. See how close it comes to piling into this.
And this is what he needs, because he's about to overtake Jeff Price, who is out of the race for a position, and he needs these guys to start crashing. Of course, nobody wants to have to rely on other people's misfortunes, but that's just the position he's in right now.
Yeah, so this time by, he will actually take over that 17th spot from Jeff Price, who has loaded up his number 14 car here tonight. And I'm taking a quick gander at it. Looks like just a couple drivers down pit road, and that's going to be the 10 of Barry, the 44 of Harrison, and I believe that is the bucked-up Chevrolet there of Ira Kohlhaas.
Kohlhaas is down the way, but yeah, Chase Berry damage a lot worse, obviously. No back bumper at all. And it's certainly helping guys that were maybe not completely certain on fuel, that could help them stretch it to the end without an issue, even beyond the green-white checker.
Never see if Jason Harrison or Chase Berry are going to be able to carry on with their damaged cars here tonight, or if they will be loading them up. I believe they are both still sitting down there on pit road.
Jason Harrison actually towed to the pits because he tried to crawl back around the racetrack and his engine blew, so I'm afraid his night's over.
So unfortunate for the driver of the Pure Ink 44.
That's
See.
another spot Luke Lafaro can pick up.
As it is official that the 44 has loaded up here tonight.
Miroslav Mach, that car has no front end whatsoever. It's already 2 laps down after that incident trying to enter pit road earlier.
Well, what do you say while we're here under yellow, we just grab the quick word with the race leader here of Justin Wilson. Wilson, you're out front here. What do you got in store here for the late stage of this race? Mr. Wilson. Mr.
Might be
Wilson.
busy saving fuel.
The man pokes me like he has something to say, and then the cat may have got his tongue here. Well, we're dropping
He's
back
eating
to...
a Scooby snack or something under this caution. You never know.
I hope he knows that we enjoy some Scooby snacks up here ourselves, but we're dropping him back down there. Maybe we'll let him continue on saving some fuel. We'll see if we can catch a word then with the second place driver here, Michael Sturgill. Michael, you got a copy?
Yep, got you.
Well, he's got us here, Taylor. Mike, what's it going to take for you to get back around that 58 here tonight?
I just need to get past him while my tires are good, and then I think once I have him behind me in the dirty air, I should be all right.
But now with
Yeah, when
40
you got in front of him on that, after you beat him on that pit sequence after he missed pit road, you were able to hold him off. But what kind of move do you have to make here, knowing that he's going to have the advantage on launching first? What's your plan?
Don't really want to be too aggressive and burn my tires up, so I'm just gonna have to hope he makes a mistake and make a move on him when he does.
Well, I guess it's a wait and see, Taylor. He's going to see what happens out there with Wilson, and then he's going to try to make the move around him, but we'll put him back there into his channel and let him get ready for this green flag here with 45 laps to go.
Well, this time Justin Wilson won't have the advantage of counting down his teammate Chase Berry, who was right behind him on the last one, because Berry is in the back of the field. So if Sturgill can time this right, he can get alongside him, enter in turn 1. He could pull him down the backstretch, although Wilson gets a very nice jump.
Yeah, the green flag back in the air. Wilson's going to pull about a car length, almost 2 car lengths, and now Dan Dill will go heads up down in his turn number 1 with that number 90 there of Sturgill. Dan Dill, remember, led the first lap of the race, even though it was under yellow technically. He led that first lap, and then he went to the back of the field, and now he is back to the front here, challenging for the lead. Top 4 cars. Here comes Sturgill now back to the inside on Dan Dill down into turn number 3.
How about Jamie Leach? He's not going away just yet. Can't do it. Oh, big crash in the back of the field. One car was up in the air. Stephen Holmes. And Luke Lafaro.
Well, that
So
might
Luke's
put
problems go from bad to worse, but
that might be the end for Luke Lafaro here tonight.
yeah, I'm afraid so. It's definitely the end for Stephen Holmes as he drifted it through turn 3 and made a heavy overcorrect into the outside wall. Luckily not to take out Eric Colley and Robert Dudley, but nowhere for Luke Lafaro to go, and airborne goes to number 9.
Well, rough yellow here on that restart there for Stephen Holmes. Something maybe broke on that car. The way that car just dove to the outside wall is pretty curious to what went wrong.
Now Luke Lafaro's smoking heavily here. Of course, he was already 9 laps down after the earlier incident with Robert Dudley in turns 1 and 2 while racing for 5th place.
As if Luke Lafaro could stay out for 2 more laps, he would have been able to pick up the position from Jason Arison, but I don't know if that car is going to be able to limp around as he's down pit road here. As soon as he hits pit road, it looks like he'll be stuck in his pit stall then for the remainder of this race.
Yep, I'm afraid so. Well, so we've had 3 cautions here in the. Actually, yeah, 3 cautions. Right, 4 cautions here in the last about 20 laps here. So that's what we mean. Cautions breed cautions after that long stint under green. Chase
Well,
Berry was right. That definitely wasn't the last caution.
yeah, he was involved in that first one, and he is back down pit road here once again with the 10. He is the last driver on the lead lap, and he's actually being shown in the 10th position. But I'm being summoned once again here, Taylor, to this driver. He is actually still down there poking me. He says he fixed his issue now. Let's see if we're able to get a word in with your leader this time. Hey, Scooby-Doo, you got your ears on?
Yeah, I got him this time.
Well, Scooby-Doo, what is on your mind here with 42 laps to go in this race?
And I hope you guys are enjoying a good show. That's really all I want to know. I mean, this car is like ridiculously tight, so it's kind of hard to really pass anybody because it gets aero tight behind somebody.
You're talking about the car being tight out here, but we've seen a lot of guys get loose out of turn 4. That seems to be the problem spot here tonight. Have you had any problems out of turn 4 with the car snapping itself loose?
Oh no, I mean that's just product of overdriving and killing your tires. And when you got the tires are nice and fresh, when they're cold, it gets a little loose. I got a little loose on that not last restart, but restart before that.
Well, we know you're definitely trying to avenge last night's race, getting beat by Chase Berry by the thinnest of margins. But saw Michael Sturgill getting an advantage on you when they had that little incident or miscue coming to pit road. And we saw that Sturgill was able to hold you off. So do you think just how big is the being out in front and keeping that guy in dirty air? It looks like it's pretty important.
Oh yeah. That mess up on pit road, that was me. I thought you could drive these things in a little harder than that, and obviously I was wrong. I lost a lot of time by having to drive back around, but being out front is what's key. That's why I took an aggressive restart to try and get by them, because being behind somebody, you can't just like suck up to them and pass them. I mean, the arrow, it gets so arrow tight behind him, and all you're doing is just burning your right front, and then eventually he'll pull away. So I think being out front is the key, and so that's what I'm gonna try and do. I'm just gonna try and stay out in front of them.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the better thing to do. And I guess we can give you and the rest of these guys a pass, as of course this pit road procedure for entering there is relatively new. But I'll let you get back to work and run the last 40 laps and see if you can come on with a win.
Will do. Gotta give a shout out to old Jason over there. I know he was involved in that last wreck, but he's watching, so give him a shout out.
Well, there you heard it from your leader, Justin Wilson. He is going to try and keep that Scooby-Doo machine out front here for the remainder of this race. He already officially... Nope,
Yep.
not officially. I was going to say officially has locked up the most laps led, but he has not, because Michael Sturgill is actually going to line up here in the second position.
You know what? I just went back and looked as we get the green flag. Michael Sturgill has some pretty serious left front damage, as you see. They actually got together checking up for the pace car. However, going back and watching the replay of that crash, I didn't even catch that the first time, but you see that left front of Sturgill.
As Dan Dill will challenge for the lead here down the backstretch into turn 3, and he'll sail her off high. He'll miss the entry, and that will blow his chance at taking the lead from Wilson off turn number 4, and now he's going to have to try and battle Sturgill to stay in second place. So Justin Wilson here on lap 1 of the restart will retain his lead, and he'll drive away now about 4-5 car lengths gap back down into turn number 1, and off 2. He is looking to set sail at this point on the field.
That's about 5 or 6 cars under a blanket here behind him, though. John Mullins to the inside of Jamie Leach.
Jeff Pogo is the man right behind these 2 cars that are side by side. Pogo is sitting in the 6th position right now, 1 position outside the top 5. That's an extra bonus point if you can get into the top 5 here before the end of this race. Luke Lafaro is actually back out there on track. He will pass Jason Harrison with his heavily damaged machine, so he is sitting 17th now, 11 laps down. He is on the same lap as Cody Levitt. He could possibly pick up another one if Levitt would have a problem, but right now Dan Dill is starting to pull back in your leader here of Justin Wilson, this time at the line and about a car length and a half.
Look at Justin sail it off in the corner. Jamie Leach gets turned sideways by John Mullins, but he saves it. Apparently the aggression level has picked up tremendously.
Donald Bennett will go to the inside here of the two of Jamie Leach, and he'll take away the 6th position. Can Jamie, though, put the power down to the outside lane here out of turn number 4? Remember, Bennett missed pit road a little while ago, and he was then trapped a lap down. He is now back onto the lead lap, and Jamie's going to go back around him. I think Bennett also has a little bit of right front damage on his 31 machine, maybe a little right rear. He may have been into the outside wall at some point here tonight that we didn't catch.
To note that Miroslav Mach has retired from the race, giving Luke LaFara possibly another position if he can limp that car around. Stephen Holmes is still on pit road. And probably will be for the rest of the race, so that's potentially 2 more positions, and maybe even a 3rd if Cody Levitt drops out.
Yeah, and 2 Pennsylvania guys driving here for the 7th and 8th position. It'll be Donald Bennett and the 36 here of Jason Eisenhower. They almost made contact down in turn number 1. They were both able to, though, separate themselves before the cars got sucked together here, so they will still go side by side once again into 3 and 4. Bennett has the outside momentum. They make slight contact there out of turn 4, though, but they both keep it pointed in the right direction. Bennett going to take the spot for the time being.
That was very close as they just kind of met in the same spot. How about Dan Dill? Literally made this race come full circle. After starting on the outside pole, on the outside pole, leading the first lap, and then pitting, put himself in the back of the field. As we see Luke LaFara get overhauled by the leaders, and here he is, right, challenging Justin Wilson. Although again, Justin just throws it into the corner.
Yeah, it really looks like Wilson drives it into the corner a lot harder than the 81 of Dan Dill, but Dan Dill gets the momentum factor down the backstretch. He closes that gap right back up to where it was, and once again, though, look at that 81, though, get the center turn. Looks like he's able to turn the center a little bit because he backs off just a little bit sooner than Justin Wilson. Could Wilson be using up the tires here trying to stay out front of this Ford Mustang of Dan Dill?
He knows that the pressure is on, that's for sure. Still got a little sideways off that corner. Literally almost identical lap times the last time. Justin Wilson of 31.878, Daniel Dill at 8.79 the last time around.
As here comes Mullins. Mullins going to look to the inside of the start-finish line here in his green Chevrolet. He'll look for the 3rd spot over Sturgill. Sturgill slipping a little bit here on this restart as, it's going to get close between these two.
Even that's what we're talking about with the progressive banking. The top side able to get that momentum off the corner, but Mullins is going to clear him this time. Able to use the whole racetrack.
Also put the green 64 Chevrolet sponsored Turn 3 Racing Network Bromley Design 64 into the 3rd position now. Can he run back down Dan Dill and Wilson? He's sitting about a second behind Wilson right now with a second gap and 30 laps to go. Call it 29 and a half, if you will. Can he catch back?
I'd have to imagine that damage on Sturgill's car is affecting him. Just as an aero situation, but as far as the handling as well, because he's dropped back 4th position as we see, and he's leaders are outpacing him by 0.3 of a second each lap.
Dan Dill has lost just a little bit of a ground, about another car length to Wilson. We got about a 3-car length deficit now between your leader and the second place car. There's a battle back here, though, for that 8th and 9th position. Cole Haas and his bucked up Chevrolet looking to the inside here of the Sim Speed Shop Chevrolet.
Jeff Pogo, we could have tried to take 4th from Sturgill. Right on the white line.
As Donald Bennett is all over, also the back there of the number 2 of Jamie Leach. Bennett trying to finish here inside possibly the top 5, because it looks like he has a pretty quick number 31 yet, but Pogo still looking to the inside here off turn number 4 of Sturgill. Sturgill going to take the outside momentum, though. He'll go right back around that 24 of Jeff Pogo. But Pogo going to throw it back down to the inside once again here. 27 laps to go, and Jeff Pogo looking to possibly take away the 4th position. That outside momentum once again for Sturgill going to play a big factor down the straightaway.
Not going to be able to clear him this time.
Yeah, Sturgill making it really hard here for Jeff Pogo to take away the 4th position from him. Sturgill had one of the fastest cars here tonight, but with that little bit of damage now started to fall back. Jeff Pogo will make the pass here for the 4th position, and Donald Bennett still trying to work over the number 2 here of Jamie Leach. That would be the battle for the 6th position. Right now it's Leach in 6th, Bennett in 7th, and then Cole Haas is sitting right there lurking in the background, one of those Bohica esports drivers with the bucked up sponsorship. But Bennett going to slide a little there out of turn 4. He will give it to Jamie Leach, and now here comes Cole Haas looking to the inside on Donald Bennett down into 1.
I'll tell you what, keep an eye on John Mullins. He is a 10th faster each lap. Dan Dill and Justin Wilson at this point. Still looked like he might have scraped the wall entering turn 3 that time. Well, Mullins definitely is picking up on these two.
They call it a 3-car breakaway at the front with Wilson leading the pack here. Dill in 2nd, Mullins in 3rd, and then a 2-second gap back to the 4th and 5th place drivers of Jeff Pogo and Michael Sturgill. So for the time being, just 3-car breakaway, all within 1 second of each other, all drafting off each other. Dill just kind of, since he got the 2nd, has not been able to go up there and challenge Justin Wilson. As you said, as he slides up the track again, he is trying to use every inch of turn 4. Turn 4 does bow out just a little bit before the straightaway technically, so there is a little more room down there, and he is using every inch. That time by, though, Wilson extending his lead. Now it's a half second back to Dan Dill.
Mullins literally just about matched Wilson's lap time, but I'm sure Dill could have put up quite a fight.
As that time by, they got the 22 to go marker from their spotter, so only 22 more laps here for at Miami to crown a winner here in the Travis Mansion Foundation 250 tonight. Brought to us by Miroslav Mach, and actually I just looked down at the timing and scoring. Miroslav Mach has pulled the 68 into the garage. He is done here tonight. Oh, a wiggle out of Dan Dill. He'll slip and he'll lose ground. Mullins now going to make the charge here down the front stretch. Will he be able to get around that 81? He'll go to the bottom down here for turn number 1.
That'd be a tough pass for John to make right there. He's gonna have to really kind of give it like a slide job.
So Mullins wasn't able to make the pass on Dan Dill. He has to fall back into line, but as all that kind of unfolded, call it about another 2 car lengths that Justin Wilson pulled on these two. That time, Mullins going to drive it in real hard. They're going to try and pack the air onto the back spoiler there on the 81, pushes him up the track. We'll see if that was beneficial to Mullins to push the 81 into the corner or not. It actually looks like Dan Dill pulled about a half car length that time down the backstretch on John Mullins.
While that's going on, Justin Wilson is slowly inching away. He's definitely faster than Dill, and Mullins is having a hard time
Sorry
getting
about
around the 81 car. Yeah, forgive my partner. He's feeling quite under the weather.
that. Yeah, a little under the weather after coming back from Oklahoma here, and you got the sniffles, as you could hear a sneeze there. But looking at the timing and scoring, Jeff
Cody
Pogo.
Levitt down into the grass here on the backstretch. What's going on here?
So that car's been damaged since lap number 1 here tonight, and now it looks like he's
Taking the road course.
well, Cody always one of those drivers that gives us some good shows, and he'll take it through the kitty litter here.
Just like at Sonoma when he, if you recall what happened out there. Yeah, he just had a rough night, literally from start to finish.
Looking at the timing and scoring, last time by though, Jeff Pogo, who's running in the 4th spot, he actually is the fastest car out there on the track.
Yeah, he's getting some help right now from Dan Dill as he continues to fight off John Mullins.
And as they battle there for that second position still, they're losing ground every time Mullins goes to make a pass on the 81. He just can't get the pass done. If he could make the pass, he could possibly still have time to run Wilson down, but the clock is ticking down as this time by, we're going to see 16 to go.
How about Big Country Kohlhaas up into the top 5 as he just got around Sturgill?
Got a good, strong top 5 finish on Tuesday night there with the Xfinity side of things, and he's looking to back it up here with 16 laps to go, finds himself inside the top 5. But how about Jamie Leach? He never said die. He never gave up from the first lap of the race when he stuffed the 2 into the wall and he got into Cody Levitt there. He has still continued to tick away laps here in that Great Lakes Brewing number 2. He finds himself sitting in the 7th spot. Donald Bennett has faded a little bit here on this longer run as he is battling with Robert Dudley. Dudley, though, is shown 3 laps down in that 49 Toyota. So Bennett running in the 8th spot, a little bit farther ahead of his Pennsylvania counterpart of Jason Eisenhower, who runs in the 9th spot. And Chase Berry actually is still out here. He is shown in the 10th spot, but way down off the pace compared to our leaders.
And he might actually get lapped if this race goes green to the end. Well, they're still in their 10th position. It looks like Dan Dill, after being able to hold off John Mullins, perhaps took some life out of the tires of the 64 car and is beginning to kind of manage that gap a little bit better.
Last time by at the start finish line, the 33 of Ira Kohlhaas was the fastest car as he has started to pull back into Jeff Pogo. So your second, third, fourth place car all within about a little over a half second of each other now at this point. Timing and scoring going to show once again Ira Kohlhaas this time by with 13 to go, the fastest car on the track.
What a great drive by Justin Wilson, as we come to expect after that mistake on trying to enter pit road. He's battled back and is showing why he is at least the Xfinity Series points leader there. But he's had a terrific season all the way around and could be on his way to another victory tonight.
Yeah, it's Kohlhaas all over the back end here of that 24 of Pogo. He'll look to the inside down here in turn 3. Will he be able to get the turn, though, down there? These tires are really old now at this point, as they're going to go side by side through the middle here. Pogo looks like he's going to drift high. Kohlhaas is going to try and pinch it off there, but now at the line it will be the 24 of Jeff Pogo. How hard will these two battle each other here with 11 laps to go, battling for the 4th spot?
He's got Pogo cleared this time, and he does. Pogo's still in a solid spot. Top 5, just like he's been all season long. As we mentioned beginning of the broadcast, he's only finished outside the top 10 twice in 14 events.
Yeah, so now with Cole Haas getting the 4th position, there's 10 laps to go this time by at the line. And even though Cole Haas had to take the pass to the inside there on Jeff Pogo, he was still the fastest car on the track. And with 10 laps to go and just under 2 seconds of a deficit, he's got 2 cars in between him and Wilson. I'm not going to count the chickens before they hatch, but he still has time to get there if he can get around those 2 cars of Mullins and Dill.
He would have to dispose of them pretty quickly, though, because he's about 1.8 seconds behind them. Although he did gain 2/10 that lap. He's going to make it interesting, there's no doubt about it.
Out of turn 2, it looks like a pretty stable car there for the 33 bucked up Chevrolet. Big Country Cole Haas himself, he closes the gap even more down into turn 3. You look at him, it seems like Cole Haas really running lower than anybody else on entry, and then lets the car slide just a little bit, but it doesn't slide that far, and he's actually not using up that whole turn 4 exit like we've seen a lot of drivers here. And let's see what he does down here into turn 1. He is a little bit lower than Mullins, who's out in front of him. And then he just kind of follows Mullins through the center of that corner, right there on that seam of the bottom groove.
Yeah, all 4 of them really look like they're really straddling the seam, but a little bit below at that time for Cole Haas. That time he used up a little more track than he did the previous lap. Notice that time's running out, though.
Yeah, 7 laps to go, and now that Cole Haas has caught the 3rd place car here of Mullins, he is not able to work around him. Last time by, his lap times have evened out now with your top 3 drivers. He might have a chance down here in turn 3 to jet to the inside on Mullins. He won't be able to. He'll back off a little bit earlier down here in turn 3 to see if he can roll the inside lane here. Looks like a pretty good exit here, but he's not going to have momentum down the straightaway to try and pass John Mullins, so he'll have to settle once again for the 4th spot. And this time by, it's 6 laps to go here at Homestead.
And Dan Dill has chopped the lead down to about 0.6 of a second. Definitely not giving up.
Cole Haas will look to the inside here in 3 now on Mullins. Will he be able to make the inside lane work for himself? They're going to go heads up through the center of the corner between Mullins to the outside and the green Chevrolet and the all bucked up black Chevrolet to the inside. That outside lane just rolls back down the straightaway with all the momentum. Cole Haas will once again, though, stick to the inside lane. Mullins has a better turn in there, though, this time, down into 1. Cole Haas is going to send her down there, though.
They come up on the lap car of Chase Berry. Cole Haas going to have to really send it in, but Mullins sends it in too. Chase Berry going to have to let these guys go and hash it out.
It'll be 4 laps to go this time by at the line, and the gap has started to shrink. 4-car length gap now lead for Justin Wilson as they go down into 1. The battle for that 3rd position still brewing. It looks like Cole Haas going to go a little bit higher on the track that time, see if he can get a momentum run down the backstretch. He turns underneath the 64 there. Mullins coming out of turn number 2, and it's going to be once again a drag race between the 2 Chevrolets down the backstretch into turn 3. It'll be 3 laps to go this time by. It's Wilson, it's Dill, it's Mullins, Cole Haas, and Pogo, your top 5 drivers.
Boy, both the top 2 right up against the wall, getting everything out of they can on the exit of the corner. Just 3 laps to go. Wilson stretched it back out to half a second.
Cole Haas now going to try the outside here on Mullins. He goes a little bit higher to try and get some momentum. Mullins going to throw a little bit of a block about halfway down the straightaway. Here comes Cole Haas. He's going to send it back down to the bottom. It's going to be 2 laps to go this time by at the line. Cole Haas really drives it in. Nearly contact between those 2, but Justin Wilson's going to see in the air. Popsicle sticks this time by. It'll be 2 more laps around the Homestead Miami Speedway for your leader and Scooby-Doo. They are out right now about a second or half a second over Dan Dill. Dan Dill going to drive into the corner a little bit higher than Wilson, because Wilson has to go underneath Luke LaFaro.
Yeah, he got held up by Luke LaFaro that time, and Daniel Dill's got a big run. He's right to his back bumper. He might be close enough to maybe make some kind of last heroic, desperate move as they take the white flag.
It'll be the white flag here at Homestead. One more lap to go. 1.48 miles to determine who's going to win this. It is a two-car battle here as Cole Haas and Mullen still going door to door, but your leader has about a two-car length lead down the backstretch for the final time. What will Dan Dill do when they get down here? He is closing the gap. He has a run. He's going to go to the bottom. He's not going to be able to get to the back bumper, though, entering turn 3. And out of turn 4, he is now stuck behind that 58 of Wilson. Wilson will come out of turn 4. He will see the checkered flag in the air. Wilson will win here at the Travis Mansion Foundation 250, presented by Miroslav Mach. Dan Dill just a car length behind, just a little too late for the 81 of Dan Dill. John Mullins will hang on for the 3rd position. Ira Cole Haas is 4th. Jeff Pogo rounds out the top 5. But how about the man who misses pit road and then rows his boat all the way back to the front here tonight from Miami and pulls off the W.
Terrific performance all the way around. Although Michael Sturgill might be coming up here to, I'm not sure, because remember they did get together under the caution flag. Sturgill still might not be too pleased with Wilson, but anyway, Justin's going to burn it down here on the front stretch.
And while he celebrates, we're going to step away for a real quick moment. We're going to see if we can get your top 3 interviews in here tonight from Homestead. Welcome back here to the Homestead Miami Speedway. 160 laps completed here in your Travis Mansion Foundation 250 tonight, presented by Miroslav Mach, and Scooby-Doo wins here at Homestead. It's a little bit of a redemption feeling for Justin Wilson, as he wasn't able to win on Tuesday night in the Xfinity car here at Homestead in the USRA Xfinity side of things. So let's throw it down here to Taylor. Taylor, you got, I believe, your race winner here of Justin Wilson.
Yes, I sure do. Very exciting race at the end. Luke Lafar kind of made it a little more interesting than I'm sure you would have liked it to, Justin, but you come away with the win regardless. What an interesting night for you.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. Those laps couldn't have came any quicker because I was trying to pull away from the group while they were racing, and I ended up just burning my right front. And once they settled down, I saw them starting to gain on me. And the live traffic hitting where it was, I was scared for a minute.
We saw also a little bit of some temper at the end of the race between you and Michael Sturgill. It appeared you guys got together under the caution flag, checking up for the pace car. What happened there?
Under the yellow, and I was trying to, like I said, we were in the booth for the interviews, and I was trying to fix my headset, so I had my Oculus like on my head, trying to like watch the monitor and fix my thing on the other side, and I was just like holding the wheel straight, and I mean I couldn't see my mirror, couldn't see anything, and he was beside me, and I went up right beside him. I mean he was beside me under yellow. I mean I apologize, but I was just trying to get my headset fixed so I could talk to you guys.
It definitely was a bizarre situation, but obviously who would have came within 4,000 of sweeping the races this week. But what are your thoughts about Charlotte next week for the finale?
Charlotte should be a pretty good one. I mean, I run Thursdays just for fun. I mean, I'm really growing to hate these cars, honestly. But they can produce some crazy finishes. Really looking forward to Tuesday. I really like the Xfinity car. I like the way it handles, and so this should be pretty fun. I'm really curious to see who brings on the championship on Thursday.
Yeah, at this point, it looks like it's going to go to Jeff Pogo, although you never know, because Luke had a pretty bad night tonight. But congratulations again on the win for you and Scooby and Shaggy. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to my teammates, Chase and Jason, and I know Jim wasn't here. Dan for scaring me at the end there, and again, I apologize to Michael for getting into him under yellow. Like I said, I was fixing the my ears, as you would call them, and USRA, man, putting on some good races. I do enjoy running here.
Well, we certainly enjoy watching these races. They're definitely entertaining. Congrats again, pal, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yep, you're welcome. And Roger is standing by with the runner-up finisher Dan Dill, came within just a fraction of a second of beating Wilson.
Yeah, I have caught up with the second place finisher here tonight of Dan Dill. Dan, it was a night of ups and downs. You started on the outside front row here. You led the first initial lap there under yellow. Officially under yellow, I guess you can actually say. And then you elected to come down pit road. What was with the strategy there early on there coming down under that yellow?
I came into tonight knowing that I needed points. First and foremost, I just needed points. There was... From third to like eighth, it was a very small amount of points that was getting everybody apart. So I knew I needed points. So once I led that lap and got my bonus point, I wanted to kind of get out of the thick of things so that I didn't get any damage. I wanted the clean race bonus, which I did end up getting. I was just trying to get the points.
Yeah, it looks like you were 14 points out of third place, which was JB Leach, who he rallied back for a 7th place finish. So you got the point for leading the lap, and then you went to the back of the field. Well, we went back green flag racing there, I believe, on lap number 5. This 81 machine just kind of snapped out from underneath you down there in turn 3.
Yeah, I'm still not used to the new tire model, the way that it does take them about 2 laps to come up to pressure, and it snapped, and I just kind of held throttle about quarter throttle and just let it catch it, and then I went.
And after that, you really had to make up a lot of time. You started to eat through the field there. Did you have a long-run car that you think if you had a little bit longer run here at the end of this race, you would have been able to catch Justin and go back around him?
With Justin, you don't ever know how much he's got left in the bank. I was conserving tires, plus after I don't know what lap it was, but my teammate Steve, he actually blew a tire under green conditions just from overdriving. So I was trying to just keep the tires underneath it, and if I got second, I got second, but I was just trying not to blow a tire and ruin my night.
Yeah, so a 2nd place finish here for you tonight here at Miami's got to feel pretty good. It's been a good year for you all around. You've had 2 wins on the year. Now this account is your 5th top 5 and your 8th top 10. That's the best stats you have had here with the USRA. Is it a combination of this car, or is it a brand new rig format that you have built yourself in the last year?
I've changed things on my rig from here and there. I don't see a whole lot of change in that. A lot of it came down to I upped my patience a little bit more, and I do like the Cup cars. I know there's a lot of people that say that they don't like them, but I do like the Cup cars, and I like this new tire model. I like the fact that you can push too hard to the point where you blow tires, because I've always kind of been a long run driver, so it's been a mixture of the patience and the car.
Well, tonight a 2nd place finish with patience from the front to the back to the front here for you, Dan. Is there any shout-outs you have to give for this 81 machine finishing on the podium here in 2nd?
As always, I like to thank my wife and my kids for giving me the time to do this. I enjoy it. It's my way of getting out and doing something for me. Like to thank Ballman Oil for letting me put the name on the car. VP Race Gas, of course, turn 3. You do an awesome job every week, unless you go to do something else that's more important.
That was planned for a year, just so you know.
I just like to give you trouble there, Roger.
But there it is. Dan Dill coming home in the second position here tonight. Just going to pat to his stats, and it's going to move him up in the point standings headed into Charlotte with one more race left on the season. We're not going to be able to get a word in with your third place finisher of the big green machine of John Mullins, but he does finish third here tonight. Doesn't lead any laps for himself, but it was a good solid night all around for John, finishing on the podium. Ira Kohlhaas does finish in the fourth spot, and Jeff Pogo rounds out the top five, but it was all about Justin Wilson. He made the mistake early on with missing pit road, but he rallied back to pace the field here. Led 110 laps out of the 160 scheduled here for the Travis Mansion Foundation 250. Well, that's going to about do it here from Homestead. Next week, it's the final race, race 18 of the season here for the USRA Cup Series. And the point standings into tonight was 37 points between Jeff Pogo and Luke LaFaro battling out for this championship hunt. Jeff Pogo is going to leave here with a little bit bigger of a lead now, so a little bit of a cushion. I don't believe that Luke's going to have enough time at Charlotte to really run down Jeff, but you never know what will happen. That'll be next Thursday night right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network. You'll be able to also catch the season finale for the XRS side of things on Tuesday for the USRA. Makeup race coming on Tuesday night here, so your catch championship night for the Xfinity side of things. But until Tuesday, race fans, we will catch you then. Stay safe out there.